Today I want to talk about my third novel, Inbetween. It actually wasn't published third, but chronologically it was a third that was written, but it was made into a film before the novel was released. And it's basically about a guy who's in a terrorist organization. It's kind of like maybe you would call Antifa, like a left-wing terrorist organization. Maybe, like the Baader-Meinhof gang or something. Totally fictional, but based in the United States, and how he wants to escape the terrorist organization, and he's inspired by, he sees a picture of a pop star, and that changes his mind completely. He's going to go through this bombing, and then he sees the pop star and he decides he's not going to, and then he hides out with these kind of bohemian counterculture people in London, and that helps him sort of achieve his dream, because he really wants to be a painter and an artist, and he was just sort of a misguided young man and everything, and how seeing this pop star and meeting these people leads to him kind of getting away and changing his life completely. It was inspired by the films The Crying Game, Neil Jordan film about an IRA guy escaping the IRA and hiding out in this transgender underworld in London, and also Performance, the film with Mick Jagger, Anita Pallenberg, James Fox in it, about a criminal who hides out with his pop star and his girlfriend in this kind of hallucinatory world. And anyway, it was interesting because it started with a film, like Performance and The Crying Game, and then it became a novel. And then as I was trying to get it published, like Dell was interested, but they said it's just not quite there yet, I was revising it. And then I got the idea to turn it into a film, because it was inspired by film, so why not turn it into a film? So I did, and we shot it in London and Tokyo and New York, and it was an absolute blast. And the film was quite successful in the film festival circuit, and you could actually see it on this channel. Still gets about 500 views a month, which is amazing. But then it eventually went back to being a novel again, and so it's sort of like from the film to the novel to the film and back to the novel. It's an interesting study. And it was also, the film was influenced by Mike Leigh's film with David Thewlis, Naked, to give it this kind of dark, spiraling, kind of a chaotic feel that you're, on the brink of, falling off some, metaphysical cliff at every moment. It has that, the film has that feeling, and then the novel. But in making the film, I actually realized what the Dell editor was telling me, that it wasn't quite there yet. And it's because I didn't really have 100% grip on all the characters and who they actually were. And it was only by rehearsing with the actors over and over again that I actually got to know the characters. I remember that they would say, I don't quite know what Lisi, for example, is feeling here. Can you clarify that for me? And I go, well, I don't know. Let me think about that. And it actually got me to understand the characters so much better. So when I finally got around to making the last revisions of the novel, it was vastly improved, and working with the actors helped me improve the novel. And then I started publishing all my other novels back in 2011. And so it's an interesting study of how it was inspired by a film, became a novel, but then it became a film before the novel came out, and then the novel finally came out. And anyway, you can read this. If you're a fan of the film, I encourage you to check out the novel. It has this sort of dreamy, kind of opaque style. I always compared it to like a James Bond film as seen, through a colored ashtray or something like that. That's how I always thought of it in my mind. But anyway, speaking of novels, my new novel, The Orphean, just came out last month, and it's a day in the life of a men's fashion and fragrance influencer on his way to meet his estranged daughter in a very dystopian world with all these very strange characters and weird things happening on TikTok around the world, and it kind of spirals off sort of into almost like a surreal landscape towards the end. It's an exploration of guilt and how, are we really, guilty for those things we think we're guilty of? And or is that just all in our mind? Anyway, the ebook is on sale, flash sale until Halloween, 40% off, but not the paperbacks, the normal price. It's available on Amazon or anywhere else. I really encourage you, check it out. Anyway, thank you for listening, and I hope to see you again.